Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Cancer March 2023 weekly Tarot Bite reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi, everyone, and welcome. This is a very short mini read for the week ahead. If you would like to see the expanded reading for the month, you can go ahead and visit my channel to view your illumination reading, which is a much more expanded reading. But this one is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes in length. We're going to be looking at the themes for the week ahead, and then we're going to be looking at a doorway that's looking to open up for you that Spirit would like you to walk through to keep you on your path to spiritual growth, awareness, and personal illumination of why you are here. What is your spiritual importance? So we have Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful with the master number 11, one of my favorite numbers in numerology, because it is the doorway. It is literally the gateway between what is and what can be for us in a much more expanded, spiritually supportive environment for us if we choose to walk through that doorway of change. If we choose to trust that we are co-creating with Spirit, and that when we see that chance to expand and grow and change, we decide to take it. And I think for many of you, Cancer, you have. There is a beautiful, there's almost a beautiful feeling of release coming through with this card, just intuitively coming through, of almost like that feeling of, think about the caterpillar going into the cocoon, and the cocoon it's tight, it's confining, it's restraining. And that caterpillar then has to sit there and basically transform inside there. And finally it gets to burst through that from that cocoon. And it's like, I can breathe again. I can stretch my wings. But the crazy thing is, I think for many of you, you've transformed so much that there may be this point where you feel like, oh, I can finally breathe again. I can finally see. And it's almost like you haven't realized just how much you have transformed, how much you become this new being that has wings to take flight that you did not have previously. And that there is going to be a portal for you this week that really is going to ask you to push through that gateway of change so that you realize you can fly. Sometimes we don't know we can fly until we have to take that, or kind of pushed to take the step off of the cliff or out of the nest. And that might be coming through, Cancer, a little bit this week for you. So we'll see here. I'm going to read the excerpt from the book so we get an expanded message, and then I'll pull the additional cards. So Butterfly Spirit, transformation is beautiful. Oracle message. Joy and the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is the focus when Butterfly Spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable as you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self. Indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Even relationships must go through shifts to match your new emerging self. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously and choose to be playful, loving, and joyous. You will soon know the miracle your soul wants to experience through you. Today is a day for joy, so alight. Look around and see the beauty that is everywhere and in everyone, including you. What a beautiful message, Cancer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull a tarot card now, and we're going to really dive into where this doorway wants to open up. So the card that comes out here is where Spirit is asking you to be curious, to direct your internal spiritual gaze in the theme of this card, to really allow you to see that portal of change that Spirit would like you to have the courage to walk through. And it's going to be where you can really, I think, discover how you can stretch and discover those wings that you now have. So let's see. What is Cancer being asked? Seems to be a lot of cards that want to sneak out, but let's see if we can get one. There we go. There we go, Cancer. The Empress. Beautiful energy. This is one truly of creativity, of creation, of being able to give birth to the experience that you would like. This is a very creative week for you, Cancer. For those of you who have creative projects, this may be where you get maybe the push to expand your kind of stretch your creative wings. You may be asked to kind of level up. This could be one where if this is more about, what you would like to give birth to, I mean, this could actually be for some of you who are becoming parents, some of you who would like to conceive, that might be that might be coming through here this week. But it could also be where you just realize your true capability of your own manifestation power in the physical. I think when we go through a transformation process, sometimes we can miss how much we've done in that cocooning phase, how much we've changed. And as we change, so too does our external environment. So we may go through all of these, we may be pushed to go through all these changes that kind of confined us, but also pushed us to focus on the self more and more and more. That's kind of that breaking down of the caterpillar, that as you went through these external changes, that piece of the caterpillar that needed to become the butterfly had to be removed, had to be kind of we had to go through like a death process. Because again, matter in our experience does not disappear or go away. Matter is simply reformed. Energy is just turned into something different. So for you guys, I think there might be this realization of just how much you have manifested during this period, including your own self, but also now to be able to see your own manifestation ability. And again, when we think about being pushed through change, that doorway of change into learning what our more expanded version of ourself now is capable of, this could be that week where you're going to be really pushed to see what the new you is truly capable of. And it could come in the form of a creative project. It could come in the form of manifesting something in the home that you're really excited about, manifesting something in your work life. It could be that you're starting to really hold space for maybe elevating in a career path, or you could even be, for some of you, this could be creating space to even maybe go back to school to, again, expand the knowledge of who you are now. But I do get the feeling, we're going to pull some additional cards here, that this is a week where you could be really pushed to understand your own manifestation powers, be it in the home, be it in the workplace, be it in a creative project. But it's almost like where you focus your energy, or where you're being asked to focus this creative manifestation energy, that is the portal, that is the gateway. Okay, so let's see here. And sometimes that can come through an unexpected way. That could be where we're so focused on work, and yet suddenly our focus needs to shift, and we're being asked to focus on the home because there's some aspect of that now is going to bring out the new abilities for us, or vice versa. Maybe we were so focused on the home, and now suddenly we get called towards a creative project, or something in the workplace is calling for us to level up. And it's because now there's a new expanded ability that you need to gain there. So we're always being asked to kind of redirect our energy, because where we might level up in one aspect of our life, then we get to that kind of plateau point, and then it's like, okay, time to shift focus and go over here. And it's so that we stay balanced. We don't only go through life looking at going through life, focused on work or obtaining money, or we don't only go through life focused on family or being of service to others, or we don't only, that kind of thing. We become a rounded spiritual being. So I love this. This was peeking out, and then it came out again. So this is definitely the one that is perfect for this message. It says, surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So this week is going to be one where it might feel like you're being pushed through that little gateway, that little tear in the cocoon. And it's like, it's time for you to emerge. It's time for you to realize you can fly. And I like how it says, Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. This is sometimes when we think of creativity, we instantly think about painting or writing or creating something in an artistic way. But being creative is also thinking outside the box. It's also looking at where we feel there's kind of a roadblock or a glass ceiling, something that we can't get up or around. And suddenly, if we decide to kind of pull back and think, well, maybe there's another way. Maybe I can simply just walk through the door. Like maybe there's a glass ceiling here, but that's because I'm choosing to stay underneath it. What if I just step a few steps to the right and try to fly again? And suddenly you realize the way is clear. And we can forget that actually that's one of our most, that all of us as human beings, that is one of our major superpowers, is our ability to just simply be creative. That kind of thought patterning of there is always another way. And for many of you, that could be coming through very strongly here, that there might be this avenue where you were just like, I can't do it. And you might be looking at it as doing it the way that everybody else does it, or looking at it in a way that you thought you had to do it, or that you had to, level up in this workplace, or you can only move here, or you can only, that kind of thing. And suddenly you're like, wait a second, I can simply go to another job. I can get another job. And work my way up again, or I can simply go ahead, maybe you've been trying to, find, it's interesting because I do feel like this. So one of my very good friends, she's a Cancer sun. I'm actually a Cancer rising. So I do work with a lot of Cancer energy, but we were talking, her and her family are looking to move out of an apartment and into a single family home. Now they live in the Los Angeles area of California, very expensive area to live in. And it can be cost prohibitive to live in there. But yet her husband and her 2 children now need more space. So it comes to this point of, well, we can't afford that single family home unless we move so far outside of the LA area that it makes it prohibitive for them to drive into LA to get to their work. And then, there's a frustration point of, but then do we stay being stuck? It's too expensive to rent. It's all of these kinds of things that come into play. And yet, as we were just thinking about ideas, kicking it back and forth, it's like, well, maybe what if you could find a place that had a granny flat and it could become an income property, so you could have some of that expense taken on by someone else, or you could find a duplex and maybe have the money to, maybe it's an old fixer-upper, but you can buy both sides of the duplex and again allow one person to move in while you're fixing up the other side. There's always ways to kind of think around. But we sometimes get so focused on, but this is the only way. I have to go from A to B, and this is, and it's when we kind of think outside of that linear way and we go a little adjacent, or we pull back and we realize, like, where in this A to B, is there like an A.2 that I can actually kind of, do a segue around and still get to B? So that this week could push you to see that new way that's going to show you a part of your new wing structure of what you're capable of. You might get that aha moment and be like, wait a second. And this could be too for those of you who maybe truly are doing a creative project. This might be where you, like, maybe we're trying to paint something or trying to write something and you realize a new application for that, or a new way to submit it, or a new way to display it. And it may seem a little scary, This could get you into a whole nother realm of, again, you're a new being at this point. And Spirit's asking you to step up into a more supportive environment for this new you, one where it involves your use of your wings and not you kind of being stuck on the ground as you were before as a caterpillar. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here for the concept. Contemplation. This is what Spirit would like you to keep in mind as a point of meditation for the week, to ground you in the present moment. So as you have those little quiet meditative moments, to really focus on bringing this to mind, to keep you in that place of awareness, to see where Spirit's asking you to walk through that doorway of change. It says, Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? I love this card in this deck. Even if you're not a woman and you are, define yourself as a man or masculine or have more masculine energy, this is really saying, have you answered your deepest calling? What is that? What is it within you that now is the new you is waiting to be fulfilled? And I love the strength. This really brings in the Ace of Swords from the tarot, which is clarity, it's truth, it's revelation. And then there's the crumbling. What are you clinging to? I love this card. It speaks to the Tower, and it shows, someone on the opposite side of these doors that only sees the darkness, the chaos, the storm, and yet here's that portal. Here's the number 11. If you would just simply walk through, look at the beauty and abundance that's on the other side, but you have to let something go. And for many of you, it's about following a deep calling within that is going to be supportive of this new version of yourself, of the new creative aspect that is waiting to be birthed into this world. Beautiful reading. I hope you all find that doorway and have the courage to walk through it. I look forward to reading for you again next week. Now, next week I will be releasing the April illumination readings for each sign. That's a more expanded reading. It's about 30 to 40 minutes in length, and we dive into much deeper messages than what comes up here. And if you're interested in that, you could subscribe and see instantly when I post those. Otherwise, if not, I hope you visit my channel again for the weekly Tarot Bite readings. Bye, Cancer.